Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fangirlz Assemble. We've assembled. We're here.
We're doing it.
How's it going? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Oh, it's so weird, right?
I know the weekend threw me off a lot.
Yeah, me too.
You know what doesn't throw me off?
What's that?
In-stock trades, because I always know what to expect. Up to 50% off on other collected editions, sometimes more.
Yeah.
And not only that, but if I spend $50, I know I'm getting that free shipping, baby.
The best free shipping, too.
The best free shipping.
All around. And you should check out those deals of the week right now.
Oh, man. Is our deals... Let me see what
ours is up.
I love playing this game.
Yeah.
Is it... Oh, this is harder. Normally it's...
It's not as obvious, I guess. Well,
is it little? Oh, it's Little Monsters.
Yeah, it's still kind of obvious. Yeah, of course.
It's like it's Jeff Lemire, of course. Hello, everybody.
So
right now, you can check out Little Monsters, our pick of the month. Get up to 50%. That's a deluxe hardcover. Everybody, by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Wynn. So,
what more could you want?
Nothing.
You need it.
That's awesome.
Everybody needs it. Very exciting.
I think you're right. Got special hello for you.
Hi, Danny.
Well, we are back. We are still on our read-through of the Battle Royale series.
Yeah.
We sure are. We're still in it.
We're doing it.
So if you've been following along at all, Battle Royale, the manga series, similar to the Hunger Games. This came out before that. There's a lot of like back and forth back in the day. Like, did you get the idea from there? Which, who knows? I don't think, probably an idea about, people killing each other is not new. But similar vein here. We've talked a lot so far about reading these books and enjoying the story overall and getting kind of hooked. But also at the same time being like, what are these choices, both in the art and the constant sexualization or SA scenes that are in these books? So it's like, it's unfortunate.
It's a lot to handle. And if you haven't watched us talk about this before, just a heads up. Every trigger warning you can think of before you pick this up. Yeah.
All of them are in here.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
It really is.
It really is. But at the same time, we're like, well, we want to keep reading it.
Even after
we gotta know.
Yeah. There are only 3 left.
We're almost at the end.
We're getting close.
We're almost there. As we see in the title, volumes 10 through 12. We have like maybe 5 or 6 people left. We ended the last book, volume 9. There's this huge, basically just massacre after one girl accidentally poisons another one of the girls. Like this group of these 5 girls are they're together. Our main guy is there. She intends to poison him, but some girl tries the soup and instantly dies, which is wild because that's not how poison works. But this is manga. And then everybody else gets really upset. And they're like, oh, shit, you did something. They start shooting at each other. They start killing everybody. Everybody's dead.
Yep.
So that's where we kind of left off last.
Right.
But
I did not grab volume 10. That's I've been looking around for it. I'm like, where did I put it? But 11 to 12 are here. I got the little volumes in these. And the end of 12, it does say surviving contestants 5 and counting.
Yeah.
And we have, it looks like, 2 women and 3 guys left.
Yeah, so we are way lower. So now it's very interesting because before a lot of the content in each of these books was just the massive killing of like a lot of people or like smaller groups. We get a lot of like, here's someone's backstory, now they're dead. Here's someone's backstory, now they're dead. Or, like over and over and over again. Man, I wish it wasn't manga. I mean, I love manga. I wish it wasn't what it is. Sometimes I will say these were a little bit slower because there's less people to kill.
Yeah, I mean I don't even want to say the words dragged this out throughout these 3 volumes, but they stretched it. I don't think the pacing was bad either. Like it, because you did get a lot more backstory as well. I kept wondering the whole time, are they going to kill this guy or not? And that's kind of the beauty of the story, right? Because you do kind of get connected to some of these characters, especially the good people, right? Who are trying to get off this island, who are trying to get out of what they're being forced to do. They don't want to do it. But you got some villains left, and you have a few good guys left, and that's it. So where's it going to go?
Yeah. And I would say, like, within these 3, because one of them got injured and died officially in these 3, and then the other one died. I feel like, to me, there were, like, 3 main characters in my head. Because they all had, like, their different groups. Mm-hmm. And so far, 2 of them have died.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the hacker guy, right?
We got the hacker guy, and then we have the judo guy, who's like super handsome and just like doing his best, and so far it's a lot of like a girl likes him and then it dies.
Yeah.
But he's like, I've got one person I've got to find, and we just met her, and she's really cool. She's into Ikebana. She's interesting. I didn't quite get a grasp on her. Like, I know that they really care for each other, and she saw something in him that most people didn't see because they're just scared of him. But she also is kind of like had this interesting thing, like, oh, if my mother said if I do these things, it will attract the right guy, which is very odd. I mean, it was fine. It was just a very interesting take on that, where it's just like, I do these flower arrangements, I do these things because my mother said it would attract the right person.
Which is so weird.
Very interesting, like, the way women are written in this is very weird.
It's a lot. I don't like it.
It's either they're super sexualized or they're like crazy. I don't know. It's weird. There's just...
And it's hard too, because clearly this whole thing is trauma, So it's like a lot of people would get to their breaking points, I would imagine. And if you already had some kind of trauma, like our one villainous woman who's still alive.
Man, they running into her again. They were like, what if we show all of her business?
Just all of it.
All of her business. Is she is she gonna like touch on herself? Yes, she is. Are we gonna see most of the details of that? Yes, we are. Okay. And thinking about the rape, I shouldn't say that word. I said it with a hard. But anyways, thinking about like the assault that she did. Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
Gross.
When they because we hadn't even seen her in these 3 volumes, because they're really focusing on like 3 characters throughout those volumes. And then she popped back up at the end, and I was like, suddenly, whoa! Like there had not been anything like that. Nothing at all.
Yes.
And then yikes. So
yeah, and I was like, I didn't need to relive that. Awful. I mean, does it make her interesting? Yes. But
and when they cut to that doll of her when she's a kid,
I mean, still like that. That imagery is still good, but
it's horrific. But like, there's something about it really conveying what was happening. Like, geez.
Well, yeah, because she's lost it. She has no idea.
Yeah.
How to distance those 2 things, and it does make her such an interesting character, and have more depth than a lot of women in the books. Like the girl who went all Joan of Arc, and then was just like in weird sexual poses at all times.
Not that they all aren't.
The one who's like, I'm just hearing. It's 2 different God ones, because we have the girl who's like, God's gonna save me, you're the devil boy, and we get her backstory, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
But then we get like this other girl who's just like, she keeps shooting these like gun who's like doesn't have any ammo, and she's just there to have her legs open and be like, here's my underwear.
There's so much of that that's like ridiculous, obviously, and very unnecessary. Like, and in the same, again, I feel like we say this stuff and we talk about these volumes every time, and I'm like, but I still don't know what happens. And if we get to the end and it's not worth it,
I'll be pissed.
I'm gonna throw some stuff. I'm gonna throw these books.
God,
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like you said, like people break in different ways. So like there is arguments for a lot of the ways people act because they're in a weird place. Some of it is not exactly what I would see happening. Yeah. But we saw more of like that cold-hearted guy, which the only thing I'm really bummed out about, because like yes, they're trying to frame like this guy has nothing in him. And they show a little bit of the background with him and judo guy. We don't know anybody's names. There's no point. They all died.
No.
We saw him like basically rip a dude's eye out.
Oh my gosh. Right. A teacher.
And everyone just stood around there. I was like, what is happening?
I was like, what is happening?
Y'all still read that? Yes,
yeah.
It's true.
It's so true.
It's just, we gotta know at this point. There's there's shows like that I'll watch. I'm like, well, I'm already in it. Because then we can make a for real review. At the end of this, we can be like, this is what it really is.
Yeah. We have to continue.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm still interested in learning more about that guy. I'm interested to see how this all wraps up and who's going to kill who at the end. Because I have a feeling that this is going to end up like Hunger Games did, right? Where we're going to have two at the end, the couple, and they end up getting out somehow.
No, spoilers for the Hunger Games, I guess.
Spoilers. It came out a long time ago.
I didn't see it or read it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised. I assumed that would have got any like everybody else. I remember reading it. I liked it.
I assume you can hear that.
Yeah. Is somebody mowing a lot?
I didn't know he was until he got very close to the window.
Oh, is that Reed? I was like, is this some rando?
It's not some rando, I assume.
But yeah, because they haven't given us a lot about him. So far, it's just like, this guy is just cold-blooded. He enjoys doing this. He's here because he wants to be.
Yeah.
And I would like to know more about him. I'm very interested to see if that's just the case and if there's no depth there, if there's more to it.
I mean, it was interesting too to
yes, I do. Well, my pizza.
To see the characters. I want pizza. Mention names like, well, he's not Ted Bundy, he's not Ed Gein, he's not, like they made some reference to Donald Trump at one point.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
And I was like,
so weird.
That's wild. I was like, I can see all of these references actually.
Yeah. My pizza's here.
What kind of pizza?
It's ham and pineapple. I'm sorry you all had to find out this way, but I'm a ham and pineapple person.
I'm not, but no judgment. Where's it from?
Domino's.
Nice.
That's the cheapest.
The Domino's like handmade pizza, the like crust in the black box, the best one.
Well, it's great because we're not sponsored, but I got that $6.99 deal for medium pizzas.
Yeah, it's great.
What?
You're sponsored, just not like that.
Oh, I'm sponsored, but yeah, that's what I said.
So we're not sponsored.
Well, I was alluding to Domino's. Elliott's like, you are sponsored. Why would you say that? I'm like, I said not sponsored in reference to Domino's. Anyways, yeah. I don't know what's going to happen with all this crew. I think that girl is still so annoying. And I just think she had no right to live.
For her to make it to the final 5, I'm like,
God, I could care less. And the fact that like the other guy's babysitting her and like had to draw a little picture of him, like I'm like, oh God, she's a baby.
Yeah, it's not okay.
No.
It's sad that the one like psychotic woman left is so much stronger than the other one. Like, it's
God,
just like, okay.
And that's saying something that I would rather read about any of these psychotic girls we've had in here than read anything about this girl left.
Yeah.
I do not like her. She's not interesting. I don't have time for that type of character. They're just like, oh, Do you think you'll come back to me? I hope you don't have to murder anybody. Like, shut up.
Like, literally.
Get with it. You do not deserve to live at the end of this.
Dying around you.
You've done nothing to help anyone. You have been not helpful. But we have to just like, oh, but she's just perfect. The movie did a good job with her because, like, I don't remember how it ended up in the movie, but I remember like there's this sequence where, because they changed who the guy who's like leading this, who like the teacher that's there with them, and his reason. He's actually kind of like a sympathetic character somewhat, even though he's also a part of this, but because of like the way those students treated him. But she was kind. And so he showed like some deference to her in a way, and it made it more interesting to say like, hey, this whole class is full of really rude kids that are just, you know, they're a bad class, but she was good. And it also kind of gave a more of a reference like, hey, this makes sense as to why this class was kind of chosen.
Yeah.
It's just for being really shitty.
Yeah.
But yeah, these three volumes were as fun for me, but I wasn't that into the action sequences. I think was why.
I get that. Like, well, and because we're down to so few, it's like they kind of do have to stretch it, I guess.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder. I'm like, are you gonna nail that ending or not? Like, I'm worried.
I am too, because I think they could have supplemented it with some other stuff that would have been interesting. Because we still don't know a lot about like the way we're going to get out of here and how all that breaks down. I'm sure that the survivor from the last game is going to sacrifice himself. There's no way he's making it out of this.
Which is a bummer because I like him.
I do too.
Yeah. I will say there is a little kitten moment, and I was so glad the kitten didn't die.
Yeah, when they started talking about it, I was like, oh no.
I was like, I hate everything about.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't the cat die early on in this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really worried they were going to do it again.
Yeah, and I was like, you better not. And then when they saw the cat in real life, or like hallucinated it, whatever, I was like, oh my gosh, is this cat going to die? Like, what's happening? But good. Thankfully, all good. Happy to hear them. Oh my
gosh. So, okay, so the next time we do this on the show, we'll be done with it. So what are your predictions for like how they're going to wrap it up?
Well, it's hard because you obviously want to root for our main guy, right? Mm-hmm. Like I would like him and the last winner to live versus anyone else.
In a dream world.
In a dream world, that's the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're going to do that. And I think you're right. I think if the previous guy, the previous winner, goes down, and our main character, they're both going to be sacrificing themselves. And unfortunately, they may have little annoying woman make it out somehow. I don't know how without anybody, but. And then I wonder about the Dead Eyes guy. Like, I don't know.
I bet at the end it'll be the couple, because they're going to be a couple probably. Our main guy and the girl. I bet he'll have to kind of fight against the Dead Eye guy. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll be the end. And he's going to have to make a choice finally, because he hasn't killed anybody. And that's been a big thing this whole time. He's like, I'm not going to kill. We're not going to kill. I'm not going to do this. But he's going to have to. There's no way to get out of this. And I think at some point, after he does that, he's going to figure out a way to like beat the system. Maybe like the winner from the last game is probably going to like divulge that information. But there's got to be a way that they kind of like sneak out or beat the system.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way this is going to end.
I agree.
That would be meaningful.
You're right. Because if it doesn't, it's going to be like, why did we go on this journey?
Yeah.
Why did we watch all these people die?
Yeah.
You know?
Something I did like about these volumes, though, is that we get to see a little taste of what it's like for families outside. Because so far we haven't. We see a backstory when we're here in the camp. We don't ever get to see regular people's reactions to this. So we had like a family that was like, we can't turn the TV off. We need to be able to see what's going to happen. There's no way she's going to make it. And this mom is like holding on to that hope, and it's on the TV. You can just see what's happening to your kid in real time. That's awful.
Like, and cutting back to like what's actually happening to her, and like them at home, and of course seeing her die. It was like, oh, this is awful. Yeah, this is terrible.
Oh yeah, they kept saying, she's, God will lead her. Someone will protect her. She's our godly child. She's going to do the right thing. And I'm like, your girl is losing it. And looks like her religious background probably made all of that worse, actually.
Yeah, it was really messing her up.
So, not great.
That was interesting, though. It was because it's like, they always talk about how this is televised. Everybody can watch it.
Yeah.
I assume like a live stream at this point, right? But we never really see that.
No.
So that was nice to see, even though it was horrible.
Yeah. So I'm curious how that worked. I would like to know more on that side. It would be great if like even one volume or a few chapters was dedicated to just like the inner workings instead.
Right.
So we can just kind of see like throughout like this time that they've been there, what does it look like from the other side? What are they trying to do? How's the setup? And then kind of go back to like, okay, well, now we're back in the present. Here's what is happening on the ground. Like, I'd like to see more of that inner workings, as it were.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the last 3 will like pace out well or not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to wrap up at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost kept reading. So that says something about,
I mean, what if
keeping you interested? Like,
also, can we talk about the weird magic part? Weird, like,
yeah, that was weird.
What was that? Because I feel like maybe it was magic. I'm very confused because basically they were like, "Look, it's like a spirit bomb. It's like it's an optical illusion." But then they start believing in it, both of them, and it's like they charge up their attacks. And I was like, "What was this? What are you doing here?"
And then they show the Dead Eyes guy using it too.
That doesn't work.
And they're like, wait, no, that's not real. He doesn't have superpowers. And I'm like, does he?
I don't know.
That was weird. That was really weird.
I think that volume they were like, let's just
like wild.
Like, do not make you need to stick to one thing. You aren't allowed to add your weird chi power in here for no reason.
Right.
But I love he was just like, he just broke out from doing the chi stuff to like just shooting him. And I was like, that makes more sense. What are you doing? I did like the way it was illustrated when they died. I thought that was cool. Like the way like the light came out and stuff. But man.
Yeah. It's intense.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Can't wait to see what Crazy Girl's gonna do.
Yeah.
She's the more interesting villain for sure.
But still, yikes.
Maybe she'll, get some redemption.
I'm not sure how, but we'll see.
Ooh, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. No, we did it.
I was worried it would be a shorter show because not as much had happened. Like the last time we talked about Battle Royale, there's tons to talk about. But these 3 volumes, because it was spread out some more. So I feel like the next 3 will have a lot to talk about. And then we talk about it as a whole. Right.
For sure. I did want to comment on Danny's comment. He's saying he doesn't hate manga, just doesn't have the shelf space for another rabbit hole. No. Understandable. It takes up a lot.
It does. Because, your trades are thin a lot of times, right? You can fill a lot in a shelf, but manga, that takes up a lot of space.
Although, if you commit to, a lot of shorter series.
Oh, yeah.
Not too bad,
Or, there's some shorter series of 3-in-1s. Somebody was asking me and Tina last night about, they want to get into manga, but they need something that's, shorter. And we both struggled to find recommendations because I was like, a lot of my favorite series that I would recommend to people to get them into manga and show that all the different types are so long.
I mean,
it's hard for me to think of shorter ones.
My go-to would be Monster.
Well, yeah, that's Yeah, Monster is my go-to. I was like, is 10, well, deluxe volumes too long for somebody?
Well, I mean, that depends, right? Because, like,
Yeah.
we know plenty of Marvel runs that are longer than that.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess Pluto's shorter than that.
Mm-hmm.
Also good. Or, like, Asylum Voice is, like, 7 volumes.
Yeah. Because, like, the shortest one I can think of that's all in one would be, like, Junji Ito or, like... Well, My Brother's Husband's a good one. You read his other series, right? Or who did? So
I did. I didn't. Like,
yeah, I saw that in the shop the other day. I was like, oh, I think I remember it not being good. So
it got weird with like a teenager, and I was like really invested, and then it got weird, and I was like, why did it do this?
They all do that. Oh God, I was watching this like YouTube commentators video or whatever today about the mangaka who wrote Rent a Girlfriend. It's this like anime and show or anime and manga about this guy who's down on his luck and he needs to like, I don't know, it's after a breakup or something. So he rents a girlfriend, but they end up having to like, he tells his grandma in the hospital, like, hey, she's my actual girlfriend, but his grandma's actually friends with her grandma. So now she has to pretend that they're like actually together and they like live next to each other. Anyway, stuff like that. But the mangaka is so obsessed with this character that he like goes out to like, you know, cafes or whatever. He's married, has kids, and draws pictures of her and acts like they're on a date. And like has like not moved the manga along as if he's so in love with her. And he talks about her as if they're actually dating. He's brought his life-size figure of her places. Like it's wild. It's so weird. I'll have to find the video to send you because it was super interesting. That was like, this guy's so into his character as if it's like he's jealous of his main character being able to date her. So he stalled that relationship as much as he could in the manga.
Okay, how is his wife okay with this? Like, how are they not divorced? That's
I don't know. But it is so weird.
I'll be like, bye.
Bye.
Something's happening here.
Super weird.
That's really weird. Really weird.
But yeah, if you look up Rent a Girlfriend on YouTube, I think that like those videos will come up. But like, oh my God. So you know, there's all types of weird creators out there.
That's true. We know that.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We do. Also, Chris says, can I think read? I forgot to say it on PayPal. I assume I know what you're talking about. Read and tell me. So I will let him know.
Well, I guess we can make it short today.
I'm good.
I eat my pizza. This Sunday for Hauls and Reads, still good?
Still good.
Okay. I'll have hauled things this time.
Ooh.
So it's just the same manga series, but I'll have hauled it.
Love that.
And I'll have read some things. By the way, you need to read Exterminators if you haven't, because it was really funny.
Yeah, I haven't.
I loved it.
I don't know that I have a way to read it, but I'll see.
Hoopla? I think it's on Hoopla. It'd be like a fun Marvel read.
Okay. They don't have tons of Marvel, but I'll look.
Okay. All right. Well, check out our sponsors. This is a short video, but you know, we'll be here on Sunday for a longer one. Yeah.
Check out our pick too. Pick it up.
Check it out. Check out Little Monsters right now. 50% off. Only $20. That's a deluxe edition.
It's an amazing deal.
Exactly. And have a good night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.